In today's video, we'll be discussing modes and features that should return in WWE 2K24. Kicking off with import music. This feature is a lot more understandable as why it is no longer part of the 2K series, as music rights have become far more strict in the recent years, which is out of 2K's control. Imported music may never officially come back in future games, but we can always hope for at least some way for certain songs to be able to use, such as WWE past catalogs of music that they owned, or if players can connect the music apps to the game. It is unclear if that is even possible legally, but here's hoping we get more options when it comes to music we want for our superstars. Now, Defeat the Streak from WWE 2K14 obviously will not return, since The Undertaker no longer has an undefeated streak in WWE, but the idea of this mode was something fans loved. We had something a little similar in WWE 2K19 in one of the 2K towers, in which you had to face Golden AJ Styles. In both insanities, you basically had to go up against an insanely overpowered version of that superstar, sort of like a boss battle. As we saw in WWE 2K14, fans loved Defeat the Streak as it was challenging and something new for players to participate in, and there were also leaderboards for the mode to show the statistics from around the world, which became a big thing in online wrestling circles as players would compete to outdo each other in the mode. That interactivity is something 2K could focus on. So if a mode like this ever comes back, it could be a bunch of levels in which you had to face powered up superstars and compete with other people around the world for the best times and rankings. Something they could focus on is Roman Reigns' title reign, and players can have a chance to defeat the big dog in significantly tougher matches. Yes, we have backstage brawls, but we are not able to go any other areas except backstage. As players know, in certain games such as SmackDown Shut Your Mouth and SmackDown Here Comes Pain, etc., there were outside arenas areas that could explore, such as road, the train station, and even Times Squares. It was complete mayhem when playing those matches, which is what made it so beloved by fans. We have also seen in WWE history with certain heated rivalries where brawling all over and outside the arena, and 2K can continue the legacy of those past games and bring some new and outrageous environments. Another factor that made those matches stand out is the weapons and the interactive element. We all love battling it out at the train station or using shopping carts to ram someone over, and 2K can do so much more with today's technology and resources. WWE 2K is known for having an incredible creation suite, and I do believe it is the best in all of the gaming due to the depth and range for the modes have to offer. From creating entrances, victory poses, matches, etc., there's one thing we'll be missing after all of these years. Creative finishes was available in some of the SmackDown vs. Raw titles and earlier 2K games, but ever since the shift to PS4 and Xbox consoles, we still not have seen a return. You can already create an entire moveset for anyone on the roster, but to be able to put together each step of your very own finisher was a fantastic way of differentiating your signature move from anyone else. One of the most creative aspects of the mode was you could have up to 10 different steps before performing your move, which lead to some wacky and hilarious animations, but that was one of the best parts of it. Ever since WWE 2K22, WWE games now release right around WrestleMania time in the calendar year, so it makes even more sense to bring back the Road to WrestleMania story-based game mode. In previous games, you could choose a few selected superstars to follow their path to the grandest stage of them all, and while not all of the storylines were great, it was an enjoyable mode to go through, and there was enough variety and difference in each star's story, so it never felt repetition. We have not really had any new stories in WWE games outside of my career, which is specific to created superstars. WWE's roster and characters are so deep and rich, filled with so much potential, so 2K should certainly make use of that and come up with interesting and uniquely created superstars, WrestleMania's parts for some of their favorite superstars. Some might be turned off by Lionel's story part, but it can be intriguing to see what 2K can come up with. Unlike Road to WrestleMania, this has a lot less limitations when it comes to season mode. You can choose anyone on the roster to play with and go on a year-long journey. One of the best things about this mode is the branching storylines, in which popular among many fan bases in gaming. 2K may already have this with my career, but I just think it's time to move forward, not to have the player to be limited to only created characters, as some fans would love to play as some of the top stars in industry and make their own way to WrestleMania with the current roster member. With the different parts you can go on, this can be highly rewarding as players can discover new dynamics along the way depending on which superstars they choose or what choices they make. And finally, one of the most concepts that have ever appeared in WWE games. It is a shame that it only has appeared in a handful of games. This mode has potential to be a staple in the series going forward, and possibilities of this feature are endless. This would give an outlet for players to be as creative as possible and share their stories on community creations. As fans, we all love to do our own fantasy booking, and with this mode, it can be that much more real. Online creators in the space have ranked up hundreds of thousands of views when playing this mode on YouTube, as it was absolutely blast to not only play but also watch these stories, as it made for some great content. Wrestling is all about storytelling, so it's only right to have this mode in which we can make our own stories. Might be absolutely bonkers, unpredictable, but that is what it makes stands out. Fans have been asking for this to come back, and I think it's time to have a revamped version of this in WWE 2K24 and beyond. What do you think about this list, and are there any modes and features you would like to see the return in WWE 2K games? Drop your suggestions in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next one. Goodbye.